City
Well,
Hall?
first and foremost, blacks, the question was, is California ready for blacks and Hispanic people and poor whites to carry firearms? Well, according to the Department of Justice and their research, the sheriff in Los Angeles has only issued out 15 permits thus far, whereas Riverside, they hand them out gracefully. But my statement to you is that because of the overwhelming amount of pre-programming that they've done to our law enforcement agents, for them to get used to an open carry state like Arizona or Florida, or to get used to seeing a little black or brown brother with an AR-15 on his back practicing the Second Amendment rights, they're not ready for that. Because the first thing they do is yell gun, then shots fired. So before you even probably get a chance to pull out your permit, you might be knocked down because they're programmed to look for one thing. So America and California is really like a baby communist state. You're not allowed to really do much of anything. You can't put this fence up. You got to dig this. You need a permit for this. Gas, $19 a gallon, you know, metaphorically speaking. So this place is really a dictatorship. I love it. But what could you possibly do here? Whereas in the South, they got their farms, they dig their own water wells, they carry their firearms in other states. What can you do here? And then we paying an astronomical amount of rent money and mortgage. And we're getting taxed. Like every other state got gas $3, $4. Ours is always $6, $7.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We got 187 billionaires here in Los Angeles. And what do they do for poor people? I can never stop advocating for who I am, which is the poor. I'm going to stay on the right side of history. When I say poor, I'm not talking about financially poor. I'm talking about the 10 percenters that take advantage of the 85 percenters, which is the blind, deaf, and dumb. And that's 5 percenters are the ones left to try to disseminate enough hope and faith for them to try to get to a level of consciousness to where they don't have to stress as much. So a lot of this stuff is manufactured. When you hear about LA, let me tell your audience this before I go. Don't believe everything you hear about California. The money that they get for the homeless and all that, they just take that money and go build up the other communities. That's why you see they only concentrate on Compton, Watts, South Central, because the government send that money down here. And then they take it and build up Calabasas and the Valley and Beverly Hills and build up new buildings. How are you going to be building something for the homeless and this man is mentally incapacitated and financially embarrassed? How are you going to pay the rent? What are you going to do with a house that y'all just built? How is he going to fit the criteria to get in there? Who's going to give him a bath to get in there before he can even fill out an application? Stop playing with us like you taking these people off the streets. No, you're getting ready for the Olympics and you need adequate housing. And you must clean up Pennsylvania Avenue and Crenshaw Boulevard and Stony Ave in order to facilitate getting the Olympics here in America. Wow. Simple and plain. I've lived through several Olympics. I went to jail right before the Olympics, to prison. Almost interrupted some shit. Don't go for that. What crazy person downtown LA that's on meth because of poverty and give up hope and faith in Jesus Christ, and I'm a Muslim, is going to be able to go into a brand new building that they built and live with a stove in there? How's he going to apply for the credit? Where's his ID at? Where's his Social Security? And for the people out there that's leaving Medea at the bus stop, homeless, where's her Social Security check at? Who getting that? Why in other communities you got convalescent homes and all that for elderly people, but in our poor communities, everybody's sleeping at the bus stop, 80 and 70 years old? When did old people start becoming homeless? Why we got an overwhelming amount of mothers that are in the streets? And I've seen a family that I've been seeing for 2 years, kids and everything sleeping in their car for 2 years straight. They asked me for an apartment, but because the family, the mother and the father, is not in touch with their faith, they just outside. It breaks my heart. You know how many families I see sleeping in cars at the supermarkets all the time? I ran up on a family once before. They were sleeping in the car. The baby was hanging out the window because it was hot in the summer. This was on Florence and Crenshaw. The mama was asleep, knocked out, And the other kids was in the back, but the baby had his head out the window like this. Any, God forbid, any bus could have came by and knocked him down. I went and woke the mama up. All the windows was down because it was hot. And I tried everything in my power to get him a room, somewhere to stay, something to eat. So being a gang interventionist or a community activist or a person that's concerned about other human beings, there's no categorical professional category that you necessarily can be placed in regards to what you do. You're just a big-ass social worker because you're dealing with the crisis of poor people and poverty and oppression. So you got to fight the power.
Damn. That's a lot.
It's not enough. I wish it was more that we could do. Taking on this responsibility is beautiful. It gives you longevity. Then it keeps you thin in the waist, pretty in the face.
Is there anything else you want to tell the people, man? Any projects or anything?
I ain't got no projects.
Word of endearment?
Nothing. I have nothing for you. Meet me outside. And most of the people that try to befriend me on Instagram and Facebook got 1 follower and 0 likes and 8,000 people they following. So I ain't trying to give out no Malik Spellman at Instagram. It's all bunko. Then now all week they be calling me, asking me, do I want to buy any washers and dryers and South Korea. I'm cool. Oh, but one thing I do want to tell you about the 1992 uprising when it came to the Korean community that I don't want to forget is that swap meet, they didn't lose 1 sneaker, 1 belt, 1 t-shirt. Because them Korean brothers was on a roof with machine guns, look it up, AKs, and they all come out to the South Korean War, and they was the first generation of Koreans. My partner Marty, who's the first generation Koreans right now today, still alive. They wasn't playing no games, bro.
That part.
You can go play over there if you want to.
And they was up there with flip-flops on.
No, dude, they was up there eating kimchi, and they didn't care about what the police came in there to them, get off the roof. They done been influenced by some real drive-by shooters. Remember, them dudes come out the South Korean War.
Yeah.
Them people's not to be played with. See, when I was in that robbery life, you used to have to do your analytics. I'm making up a word now. When it came to robbing people. And not robbing people, but establishments, major establishments. I never robbed an individual in the streets in my life. I snatched a purse once before when the police was undercover in New York, and I took off running with it, and the fool let me run right into his hands and snatched me by my neck and lifted me off the ground and took the purse from me. God bless you wherever you at, Mr. Police, because my stupid ass should have never been out there trying to snatch purses 9, 10 years old. Then another time we snatched this Caucasian lady's purse, me and my brother. I hated doing it, but we were so hungry and poor. We had eaten hot sauce sandwiches, beans, uncooked. We was poor, man. And I snatched it. She lived across the street from a nice old lady. I don't know what made us snatch it. We seen her going to pay her bill, because back then you go pay your gas and light bill with cash. Wasn't no credit card move. We snatched the purse. And I'll never forget when I stand, God bless her wherever she is, I apologize to her. I took off running, and we went to go open up the purse to split up the loot, whatever was in there, and it was full of gum. But the irony of the situation was it was the same gum that she used to give us walking home from school. But it was the whole entire bag. I said, she tricked our stupid ass. We thought we knew it was slick. That's when I lived in Jamaica, Queens. God bless you, Granny, wherever you are, man. She was sweet. Man.
She had a bag full of gum.
Yeah, but we had to separate that bag from it, Granny. We had to have that. Yeah.
Hey, you got a bunch of gum.
It was some good gum, too. We chewed every last piece of it.
He said we chewed every last piece.
Chewed every last piece of that shit.
Oh, man. Well, man, thank you for another guest, another time on Wild Moguls, man. And we're going to see you again. Thank you for these topics and gems.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming through, because like I tell most podcasters like you, your show and shows like yours save more lives than a cure for cancer. We just planting seeds right now. Oh, and to your other viewer, Mr. OG, need a cigarette lighter? Let's see how. I told you I ain't gonna never forget your ass. The slick comment you made. You gonna be one viewer that I remember forever. You got one more on there, the little youngster. He lying. I like him. That's all he ever say. He probably don't even watch the show. He lying. And stay tuned, because we'll be bringing on Simone's family too to discuss that helicopter attempted escape from the men's central jail.
Oh, yes, sir.
And his brother, so we can debunk that. He lying.
No, I talked on the phone with him, so I can confirm it.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Malik.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you this right quick. One time during the truce, we was at a church on 79th and Western, and this police used to always come to our meetings. We used to have one dude used to come to the gang truce meetings from the Department of Justice or Interior or something like that. And he would have on his little suit, a little skinny brother. And I remember Maxine Waters and all them used to be there, and they can attest to this. But the dude had a briefcase handcuffed to his wrist. In every meeting we used to go to during the truce, we used to see this dude. He'd be sitting in the corner like this, like Men in Black. And he wouldn't talk or nothing, and he would never open it, but he had it handcuffed to his wrist. So if anybody out there can tell me what that meant, it was either Department of Justice, Department of Interior or something. When we did the truce, man, they had media come from all over the world with lithium battery cameras from all parts of the diaspora. Name a country, they came.
Wow.
No, for real, man, to see the black man united. They had an earthquake, dude, right after that, man. Name a country, dude, and they came. They was in South Africa. I believe they got a statue of Tony Bogart somewhere in Ireland erected. Name a country. That's why you see them dudes
Tony
from the truth.
Bogart in Ireland?
A statue. Oh, and shout out to Sniper. That's the little dude from the PJs that went over to another neighborhood to do something with the gang situation. And shout out to Bull. I believe he's from. I'm not gonna say where he's from because I don't remember exactly, but Big Bull. I believe he was part of the truce. Q-Bone was part of the truce. Keita Rock, F-Bone was there. Chico from 60s. Black Ass Ghost from 9-0 that'll crip walk at your party from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Nobody in the world can out crip walk Black Ass Ghost. And on one of the other episodes, I tell you how the Hispanics came down to the community and asked us about the truce, and then came out, went back to the valley and put their situation down with their people. And you'll be able to Google it and get the information. So we influenced a lot of people, bro.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. And it went to New York, too.
It went around the world. God bless Jim Brown,
France.
Minister Farrakhan, the Million Man March, Captain Shaheed.
Did you go to the Million Man March?
I was in the top 25 people at the Million Man March. I threw a white dude off the bus at the Million Man March before the movie Get Off the Bus.
You threw him off the bus?
I told him he couldn't ride on this day. I had to pull a, what's that lady they put off the back of the bus back in the day?
Rosa Parks?
Yeah, I had to pull a Rosa on him in reverse.
Was he by himself or was he with some
And
people?
then as soon as I did that, look how compassionate black people are. I call myself showing off. You can't ride with us, being a bully. The brothers turned on me like, nah, man, don't do that. And they was right. I was out of pocket for that. He was there to support the cause. But I'm going to tell you one of the great, I was in the top 25 people at the Million Man March in the front. I looked up, I was in the front. I turned around, it was 100 brothers. I turned around again, it was 300 brothers. I turned around again, because my stomach's against the stage. Daoud and them, I believe, spoke at the Million Man March. I turned around again, it was 500 brothers. I turned around again, it was 1,000. I turned around again, it was 1-point-something million black men behind us. There was no high on the earth, no drug, No, nothing that can ever. That's why they never talk about the Million Man March. That had to be the greatest. That's the first wonder of the world.
No, and they said they did the numbers and they did an overview. They said it was more like 3 million.
3 million, bruh. I seen a brother that was so elated to be amongst his people that he jumped in that little river over there and near the White House in Washington. It was cold too that day, I believe. And he started like walking across the water. And then we got all these millions of black people around him, all men. And we just looking at the brother in the water. He looked like he just like a shark fin going across the water, treading and everything. And I'll never forget, the National Guard was about to send a white dude in there to get him. And then I guess whoever was in charge of the National Guard, like, no, because if you go in there and a tussle break out, it's over. They gonna go nuts. Like you get in there and he get the flare in his arms or whatever they say. So the God bless the dude, that white dude was in charge of the National Guard. He pushed the white dude back, but he was probably gonna go in there just to save the brother. And he sent this brother. I'd never seen a human being this tall and this wide. He had to be like this wide. He had to be every bit of 6'9", had his gun. He was a big youngster, wide, 20-inch arms, and it was the most phenomenal thing I ever seen. The first phenomenal thing I seen. And he went in the water and got the brother, and you could see the treads on his feet. You know, when you walk in the water, you see the trail behind you. And all these black men watching, millions of us, we watching. And he walking through the thing, and he went and got the brother and lifted him up like this and was bringing him back. And man, the crowd went nuts.
Wow.
It was beautiful, man. He was wet. He was like rolling, man, and he picked him up like this, like a doll, and strolled him back. Boy, we went nuts. Then another time, it was some brother that was in the front, up there with me, because I'm squished to the front. And he was in a wheelchair. He had a medical emergency. And they trying to figure out how to get him, you know, some help. So all of a sudden, somebody came up with an idea. The brothers lift him up like they do at them concerts and windsurfed him all the way to the exit to get him some help. Beautiful. He was in a wheelchair. Could you imagine all them brothers touching that wheelchair, just pushing him back like this?
Damn, like above their head?
You know, they do at concerts and they surf you.
Yeah.
But it was in a wheelchair. They didn't tip him over nothing, and they got him to the other side. Wow. Then the last thing I seen an old black man about 80-some years old, rich. You could tell he was one of them ballers, black man that's out there, born in the 20s or something, or the 30s. I say the 40s. I'm just trying to, get as close as I can. And he jumped out of his Rolls Royce. I'd never seen this. And he had a big, tall Frankenstein white dude with an umbrella over his head walking with him, keeping the sun off him at the Million Man March. It was reversed. Usually you see a black man with an umbrella over a white dude, keeping the sun off of him. But it was the reverse. And man, I was like,
oh, yeah.
That was amazing, man. Not for the purpose of racism, but just to see how, as my granny and as Mary Wells was saying, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Yeah.
When the hunter get captured by the gang, baby. That's that music that make babies and make your dick hard. You see, your wife's supposed to make your dick hard, not your life hard.